So the last time we left things off here in Panama, I was headed up to Finca Sofia with the manager of that farm, Kelly Hartman, who's driving along here and explaining that they're harvesting potatoes off on our left as we're driving up here. That's what he's talking about. And if you recall, Finca Sofia is the highest coffee farm in Panama, and it's just a beautiful place. And here we are at the entrance to the farm. Wonderful, beautiful place. I've got a little bit of Kelly here talking, explaining how they do the farming here. I have a lot of footage from this, and I was going to do a word-by-word translation, but that's a lot of work, and I can just tell you what he's saying. So I'm just commenting that it's almost hard to see the coffee trees in there because they're still growing, and there's one. They're very small. Kelly thought that was pretty funny because, of course, he does this all day long, every day, and to him, it's as easy to spot a coffee tree as it is to spot a stop sign for you or me if we're driving. So you can see the smile on his face. But of course you can see them there, and he's explaining actually that they're planted in rows, and that if you get up in a row with them, you can see them much easier. And of course that also makes it easier for the workers when they're coming along, so they don't have to climb up and down as they're working. It's very, very steep. You can't quite tell so well from this video, but you might be able to hear me huffing and puffing as we go. Not only is it very high elevation, which of course makes it difficult to breathe, but the slopes are really quite steep. We're right in this very high volcano region. And I just shot all these different videos to show you what it's like. And again, you're seeing some very small coffee trees. Some areas were planted further time ago and some more recently. Here, Kelly's explaining to me about this particular area of the farm and how they were going about planting the shade trees for that area. And I'm just asking him what percentage are they going for, 60, 70% shade? And he said, yeah, it's difficult to say, but about 70%. But of course, farming is a difficult thing to do with any product in any area. But this is an especially tough project they have because coffee farming, again, is delicate in any place, but they're doing it at an elevation that it's not really been done at before, at least in this region. And there's all kinds of climate problems you run into, different natural pests, different diseases. Speaking of pests, there's some flies in the camera there. This is looking out off the other side of the farm from the place we came up. Obviously, down in that valley, that's not coffee there. That's neighboring farms growing all kinds of other food products. I just loved this view. I thought it looked like a fairy tale valley to me. Yeah. So obviously those clouds get up in there into the farm as you're walking around, and it's you're literally walking through the cloud. At the time, of course, it feels like fog that you're walking through, very thick fog. And since this is a particularly moist area, you can see all the moss growing on the sides of these trees. So this farm, they planted geisha up here. If you're in the coffee industry or watching this, I'm sure you know all about geisha, and should be really, really exquisite coffee. There's a ton of work going into this farm. Again, I acknowledge there's a ton of work that goes into any farm, but they've really, really, really made this a labor of love here. And I haven't tasted the coffee yet, so I can't guarantee you 100% it's going to be good, but I'll be very surprised if it's not really, really good coffee. And as I said in my other video, of course, the weather was changing constantly. We stopped by to check out some worker housing that they were building at this farm, and it rained. I just sat inside the truck for a minute, filmed the rain. Yeah, it's really a privilege to get to go to places like this, and I enjoy sharing it here on the video, so I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I have one more video from Panama coming up. I will post that tomorrow. Some interesting stuff about coffee roasting there in Panama.